know how difficult it is for you to face the truth about Elizabeth. Your childhood sweetheart, the mother of your children.
I can admit when Elizabeth is wrong, but she did not try to kill you.
No, to her, I'm just an obstacle. All along, she's been lying and manipulating to try to hold on to you.
You're still recovering from surgery, and you're still reeling from the fact that all of this has happened. It's this terrible mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake. Elizabeth found the perfect opportunity to get me out of the way, and she took it. She deliberately gave me the wrong medication.
Siobhan, you have every right to be angry. You almost died. But this is not Elizabeth's fault. I'm the reason that you got hurt. If you need to be angry with someone, then be angry with me.
How many times have I told you to stop blaming yourself? I
I'm
don't.
the one who set the fire. I set this whole thing into motion, and you could have died.
Well, and it would have been an accident.
That's
Something
exactly,
that you never...
That's exactly what this was with Elizabeth. It was an accident.
Elizabeth knew exactly what she was doing.
Siobhan, the only reason that she was in the OR that night was because of the lockdown. Elizabeth had no idea that you were the patient.
Well, and when the opportunity presented itself, she grabbed it with both hands.
No, she may be guilty of coming back to work too soon after Jake died, but I refuse to believe that she would do anything.
You refuse to believe. It breaks my heart how you just continue to defend her like clockwork. And it just confirms to me what you've been telling me all along about how messed up your relationship is. And that you've never been able to get past seeing Elizabeth as this innocent victim that you had to rescue as a teenager, a role that she's all too willing to play.
Our relationship became dysfunctional. You're right. And Elizabeth and I have no business being together. Come on, Siobhan, listen to me. She did not try to kill you. I'm just trying to resolve this so that no one gets hurt any worse by events I set in motion. So what's it going to take? What's it going to take for you to drop the malpractice suit?
You're acting as if I'm this jealous wife staking my claim, and that isn't why I'm suing Elizabeth.
No, you almost died on the operating table because of her mistake. I understand that you're angry, but you're also making a lot of assumptions that just aren't true. That Elizabeth is capable of murder, that you're somehow standing in the way of a reconciliation between us just because Aiden's my son.
Well, I'm not threatened because you turned out to be Aiden's father.
Good. Good, because all I want with Elizabeth is what we already have, which is a comfortable co-parenting situation.
And Elizabeth, you really think that that's all she wants?
What does it matter? And honestly, yes, I think she's happy that we've finally been able to get to a place where we can create a positive environment for the boys, but that can't be the case if you're suing her and the rest of the hospital and dragging her into court. I mean, think about that. Think about that, what that would do to the kids. At least for their sake, let this go.
Back off the lawsuit. Let Elizabeth off the hook, and you'll stay with me.
Elizabeth, I didn't expect to see you here.
Why? Because I'm on suspension?
Well, it's probably better if you keep some distance.
Yeah, that seems to be the general feeling around here. Never know what sort of dysfunctional disaster I might cause this time.
I don't want to fight with you.
Well, then maybe we shouldn't talk, because I'm really not in the mood for any of your well-meaning advice.
That's how you used to get when you fought with your mom. Bratty and snappish. It's a way to cover when you're hurt.
Or maybe it's just me.
Maybe, sometimes.
Dr. Brooke, contact.
You know what? I'd coax it out of you with an ice cream cone if I didn't have to get back to the ER in 10 minutes.
Don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
I won't. I'll worry about it until you tell me.
All right. I was eavesdropping on Lucky and Siobhan, and I overheard him telling her that Lucky and I are dysfunctional and that we should never be together.
I'm sorry.
And I know, I mean, I know that I've heard him say it. It just hurts to hear him tell her. Aren't you sorry you asked?
No, I'm not sorry. I love you. I support you. But you're not doing yourself any favors hanging around here eavesdropping on Lucky. Go home. Breathe. Make yourself an ice cream cone.
Well, maybe I'll listen to the last part of that advice.
Toys. And Emma has pretty much outgrown them, so it's everything except the sparkly ballerina stuff, which I don't think Ada would enjoy.
Thank you. That's awfully thoughtful.
That's really more a matter of self-preservation. It is incredible to me how much one child can accumulate. I mean, it was practically taking over our house.
Oh, believe me, I know it. So what are you doing bringing this all over now? I mean, shouldn't you be in a lab hunched over a petri dish or something?
Well, as of this morning, I'm no longer working in the lab.
It's because Siobhan is suing the hospital.
Okay, well, you know, as you know, they suspended Steve.
Right.
But he suggested that I be the acting chief of staff.
You? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
It's okay.
But you?
It's okay. It was Patrick's reaction, too. I guess you should get used to it.
Wow, I didn't realize it was something that you'd be up to doing.
Well, I was practically given the job.
Good for you.
I hope so. And I hope it will be good for the hospital. I've already ruffled a few feathers.
Any feathers in particular?
Our prized peacock. He will no longer have his pick of surgeries. You know, I think it's important to shake things up a little bit.
Wow, I wish I could be there to see all that.
Well, it is a long way from saying you're going to file a lawsuit and actually going through with it. I mean, no one believes for 1 second that you gave Siobhan the wrong meds. I have every faith that things will work out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you all coming to my defense. Lucky is talking to Siobhan as we speak. He's letting her know that I have said my fair share of lies, but I draw the line when it comes to killing his wife.
It can't be easy for a lot of reasons.
I really just wish I could be one of those selfless people that says I'm okay with Lucky and I going our separate ways, and then I just want him to be happy, which, you know, I really do. But the truth is, I just want him to really be happy with me.
It was my idea to get married, remember?
For a green card. And for more time to get to know each other.
Right. But I'm also committed to being the best father that I can be, and that means I'm going to raise Aiden with Elizabeth. Just the same way that I have with Cam and Jake.
Sorry, Lucky. I know how you're grieving. But like I said before, Elizabeth is using your grief.
She made an honest mistake, Siobhan.
Do you hear yourself defending her?
You're basically accusing her of attempted murder. Look, and once she got you out of the way, then what? You honestly think I'd just go rushing back to her? How can you ever imagine that happening, knowing our history? Look, we're both trying to move on. That's what's happening here.
Twice the test showed that Aiden was your brother's child. But Elizabeth didn't want to accept it. She wasn't trying to move on. She ordered another test.
Right, which finally showed the truth that I'm Aiden's father.
Oh, Elizabeth's dream come true. You know, I bought into the whole mother grieving over the loss of her child story. I did. But a woman can be just as calculating and manipulative while she's carrying grief. You know, Elizabeth, she came to my hospital room, all full of concern and helpful advice. And she warned me. She warned me that I would lose you if I didn't drop the lawsuit. I don't want to lose you. But I can't lie. And I don't want to see you get sucked back into that woman.
Do you think that suing her is going to keep us from getting back together? Don't you see what you're doing here? You're forcing me to defend Elizabeth. The only reason that she made a mistake in the OR that night was because she's still grieving. So don't do this. Don't tell me you're going to move forward with the lawsuit for my own good.
Dr. Ralston, please report to the helipad. Dr.
For your own good, Lucky.
Report to the helipad.
Let it go.
Hey, man. Listen, I talked to Siobhan, and she decided to drop the malpractice suit.
Wow, that's that's welcome news. Thank you very much. Let me just say that we're all sorry about what happened to Siobhan. The mistakes were made, not only Elizabeth in the OR, everybody on staff. She wasn't ready to go back to work, and we covered for her.
Now, I understand why Elizabeth wanted to keep working. You know, losing Jake tore a hole in the middle of our lives, and you just try to hang on to anything you can, get through the day.
Well, it sounds like your relationship with Siobhan is important to her. The fact that she would understand that. Obviously, your marriage means a lot to her.
Call
So it would seem.
Nurse Ann Warren.
Yeah, well, I guess with the lawsuit dropped, we can all try and move on, right?
Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it? It's nice to say that. You know, the thing is, Patrick, when you lose a kid, there's no moving on. Jake's gone. It's just the way it is. And now my father took off. Brother's gone. Elizabeth, I don't even know.
You know, Lucky, you have a son to raise now. All those milestones. His first word, his first step. You know, I talked to Nicholas a few times about parenthood, and it was pretty easy to see how dedicated he was. I'm sure it must have been difficult to hear that Aiden wasn't his.
Yeah, that's an understatement. You know, he could have fought to hold on to him, but in the end, he decided to do what was best for Aiden.
Well, kind of sounds like that's what Siobhan's doing. Now you and Elizabeth can raise your boy without that lawsuit hanging over your head.
Okay, you're gonna be a good friend and pretend that you didn't hear any of that.
I am happy that you admitted you still love Lucky.
He's married.
It was a green card wedding. He married her to keep her in the country.
I think he really likes her.
Well, Lucky is a good guy. I mean, if he makes a commitment. But if she follows through with this malpractice suit, she will be on the next boat to Ireland. Trust me.
Okay, it's like you said, it's no secret that I will always love him. And now he's Aiden's father, and it just so happened that his wife showed up on the operating table, and that I'm assisting in the surgery. Is it really that big of a leap to imagine that I could have...
Is it that big of a leap that you, drank the same water as Lisa Niles? Now all of a sudden you're a crazy ex trying to kill his wife? Yes, that is a huge leap. That is Grand Canyon-esque, okay? You're making it sound reasonable that this woman is suing you.
I'm just acknowledging that I was at fault and that it was a terrible, terrible mistake.
Made all the more complicated because of Lucky. And if Siobhan loves him, which I guess she does, she's probably jealous of you. She sees exactly what everyone sees, that you will always love Lucky and he will always love you.
Hey. So, Siobhan decided to drop the lawsuit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so used to getting bad news, I don't believe it.
It's true.
Please come in.
Thanks.
Thank you, thank you for telling me in person. I know how angry Siobhan was. I know what an uncomfortable position this put you all in. I mean, what it must have taken to convince her, I can't imagine.
Nothing good was going to come from her suing you. I mean, a lot of people could get hurt, and it was just a matter of helping Siobhan see that, I guess.
I'm so grateful. And not just for me, but for the entire hospital. Now they don't have to pay for my mess up.
Now you can beat yourself up about it, or you can learn from it. I mean, that's what you're always telling me, right?
Well, and I guess before I put any more patients in danger, or you burn down any more houses, maybe we should just take a moment and really heal from Jake's loss.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that Aiden's my son. You know, this person that we made together.
It's a miracle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Listen, Elizabeth, the fact that Aiden's my son, it doesn't change everything that went wrong with us. I mean, we can't just ignore that.
I know. I mean, you're married.
Right.
You're married.
It seemed like the right thing to do. I mean, I didn't want her to leave the country, you know?
Yeah.
And, man, I mean, Siobhan's been through a lot. Moving here and the fire. Oh. When she woke up from surgery, I promised her that I wanted to be there for her.